Hello my lovelies, this is a reading for Pisces for the month of February. I hope you're all well and that you got through January okay. And there's some gorgeous energy here in the cards for you. These are all oracle cards. I don't use the tarot. And I've chosen from 5 different sets here. And the sense I have for you for this month is finding a lightness of being. So if things have been a bit muddy or clogged or heavy around you, it's finding your way out of the mire and feeling lighter again, feeling not so enclosed and it's a bit like opening your wings and being able to move again. It's just gorgeous energy. Now we have a new moon on the 4th in the sign of Aquarius. So with this new moon energy, it will, if you set something down for this new moon, when we reach the next new moon, that'll be your sign in Pisces. Okay, so there's a month, 4 weeks, in which you can see a result. Other things will take a little bit longer, but I just get the sense if you start to put a little bit of energy into where it is you would like to be by the end of this year, and do it on the 4th with a new moon. It makes some new moon wishes. It's a nice little ceremony to be able to do. So you can just write them down. But if you write it in the present moment rather than in the future, so rather than putting, oh, I would like to have a new car or I'd like to have a lovely new job, you're always placing it in the future. But because we live in the now, it's far more powerful to write it as though you've already got it. So your new moon wishes would possibly read, thank you for my lovely new car. Thank you for my lovely new job. Thank you for my amazing new boss. Thank you for my fabulous new home overlooking the sea, which I own outright. That's one of mine. Watch what happens. So within, as I say, within a month, so from the 4th, new moon in Aquarius, to the new moon in Pisces, there could be a speed up of energies. Okay, so I've chosen a little angel card for you, and it is communication. So there are 4 little angels on the phone chatting away, and usually what this represents for me is a need to communicate with others on different levels. Now, because there are 4 angels, that represents mind, body, spirit, and what we call the ethers. So if you've had something or somebody on your mind, then call upon that angel to help you communicate. So where there might have been a miscommunication or a lack of communication or a misunderstanding, that can be brought to light and healed. Also communicating with your body. So you might think that's an odd concept, but when we have aches and pains or issues with our body, sometimes we can go to a health practitioner and give them responsibility for our health. So a magic pill from the doctor you think is going to make you well, but when we actually communicate with our bodies on a one-to-one basis, you may find that you heal much quicker. So you can call upon the angel of communicating with your body. So for example, I do my affirmations every morning before I get out of bed, and also when I go to bed. And one of them is, thank you for my perfect, vibrant, glowing health. Thank you for my perfect teeth and gums. Thank you for my perfect hearing. Thank you for my perfect eyesight. So I'm placing it in the now, even though some of it might not be here yet. So working at that level with your own physical body, you're not giving responsibility to anybody else. And the word responsibility is the ability to respond. So your ability to respond to the messages that you're giving your body. And so the fourth angel is spirit. So your sense of being in high spirits, being low spirits, how you move through life, not just in the mundane, but in that sense of communicating with others telepathically, that knowingness of things. So if you've not meditated for a while, or just sat down in nature and tuned in and looked at the sunshine, looked at a sunset, and just felt that sense of awe, that's something that you can be working with through this month as well. And then the fourth angel is what I said about the ethers, and that can encompass all sorts of things. So it's sort of universal mind, infinite mind, what it is that you came here to do. So part of your life purpose, and if you're not aware of what your life purpose is, that can be worked out through your date of birth. So I do a numerology for that. And communicating, so a request to say, well, what is my life purpose? What am I here to do? Please show me in some shape or form what this entails. And I was driving home yesterday down the lane into the village, and I was saying my affirmations over and over again. Thank you for my perfect, vibrant, glowing health, etc., etc. And suddenly a huge buzzard flew straight towards me, towards the windscreen of my car. And luckily I was going very slowly down the lane and down a hill. And just before it got to my windscreen, he went up over the bonnet and up into a tree. And I stopped and I said, oh, wow, thanks, Spirit. That's amazing. That's confirmation to me of all of these affirmations and the inner work that I've been doing on myself. Because eagle represents spirit. They say they fly higher than other birds and their wings touch the heavens. So you may receive some sort of sign or signal from the universe as confirmation. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a dirty great buzzard. It could be anything that can show up for you. It can even be you hear a child's conversation, but there's something in it that resonates with you and you think, wow, out of the mouths of babes, eh? Because I feel like you're coming out of a cocoon stage. It's been necessary for you to be in there, so it might have felt like a swaddling clothes or very, very restrictive over the last I'm hearing 9 months, so it's like the gestation period, but for some of you it's even further back than that. So when the caterpillar goes into the cocoon, part of it might think, oh, I've died, and part of it has, and it has no idea it's going to emerge as this incredible butterfly. So you are emerging. There is a birth, a birthday, a birth date, giving birth to something. And as you move into the Pisces season, which is only a month away from where we are now, you may start to feel that little flutter. Okay, you're getting your wings ready. So when a butterfly emerges, they can't fly straight away. They have to hang upside down and allow the wings to dry. So there is this process, metamorphosis is called, that you're going through to emerge in the not too distant future as a very different being. Now this next card is a self-mastery card, and you're probably pleased to see it's stability. So stability, breaking it down, is the ability to stand, to be secure. So if you've been wobbling a little bit with life, this is showing you that out of the upheavals around you, you will actually find stability. And it's interesting, it says, amidst the earthquakes of unexpected situations, the hurricanes of unreasonable behaviour, when fortune strikes against me, I remain unmoved, knowing that finally all will be well. So you may have had chaos around you. You may have had this sense of upheaval and hurricanes and such like, but finding yourself within that cocoon stage, and a part of you might be feeling, well, nothing's happening. Absolutely nothing is happening in my life. I'm stuck. And that is how things have meant to be in the past, but this energy is now changing and shifting. And because you may not buy into any fear factor of earthquakes in your life or hurricanes or unreasonable behaviour by others, when you step away from that, then you become empowered. You're not buying into their drama. So detach from other people's dramas because they're not yours. When you embroil yourself in other people's dramas, you join them in their misery. Misery loves company. And misery is a very low vibrational energy. And if you've ever been with someone who starts to moan and groan about everything and it's everybody else's fault, when you come away from that, you feel exhausted because you've joined in at that lower level vibration. When you can recognize, yes, somebody's going through something and it's upsetting to them and they're all riled up about it, there's a very big difference between sympathy and compassion. Sympathy is, I join you in your misery. Compassion is, I have the ability to stand back. I see you. I understand what's going on with you, but I have that strength of will not to join you in your negative pattern. Because when we focus on negative stuff, it gets activated and expands. When we focus on positive stuff, it gets activated and it expands. So you see the difference. So even if a part of you feels like nothing is going on, like you're in this cocoon and it's restricting, allow this energy to gestate and you will be emerging as you move into your birth month of Pisces. Now this next one, oh golly, this is gorgeous. Now Cancer's had this card, so that's interesting. It's 2 water signs. You've got hummingbird, isn't that beautiful? Oh, gorgeous. 44 is a master number and it's the master teacher. So the energy running through February for you is about lessons learned, how you can share what you've learned, and also if you wanted to take up some sort of course or learning modality. And you might say, well, I haven't got any qualifications. It's nothing to do with that. It's being able to share wisdom with others. And Pisces energy is very deep and very nebulous at times, but it's also about imagination. So that is that ability to share your imagination with others. So it's writing, it's acting, it's drawing, it's beautiful fabrics, it's colours, and how you can use those in a way. A lot of actors and actresses are Pisces, so it's that ability to show a mask and portray somebody else. And hummingbird energy is very delicate, it's very unique. There's no other little creature like it because they can fly up, down, backwards and side to side. And their feathers in ancient times were used, they were stitched inside a little pouch, a bag, as a love potion. They wouldn't do it now, hopefully. So, and the iridescence of their wings holds all the colours of the rainbow. And we're looking at if you've heard of the rainbow children and the crystal children, etc. So you may have around you youngsters who have this sort of energy that on the one hand appears naive, but it is actually pure. They've been untainted. And a lot of kids that are coming in onto the planet nowadays, they are already pre-programmed, and they're known as the crystal children or the rainbow children. And sadly, they are being misdiagnosed with ADHD and etc. And unfortunately, some of them being put on Ritalin. But they have the ability to know an answer immediately. But teachers don't like that. They say, well, how did you come to that conclusion? They say, well, I just know. I'm right, aren't I? So, yes, you are, but you have to show how you got there. And they say, well, why? And also they can be labelled disruptive as because they're bored. They already know this stuff, and if you keep repeating it to them lesson after lesson after lesson, they get bored silly and get disruptive. So one of the best things you can do with these fabulous kids is give them a project to do. Take something apart, put it back together again. And then their minds are focused on creating something, and maybe all the other kids are still ploughing ahead with trying to figure out the lesson. And then you are honouring the energies of these fabulous kids. And they've all come in to rewire humanity in a way. So they're coming hardwired, they're coming pre-programmed, and they know this stuff. So the hummingbird energy that's visiting you now, and I feel it's not just throughout February, is about delicacy. It's about being able to move in any direction. So if you've been feeling stuck like you're in that cocoon, what comes out is not just a butterfly, it's the hummingbird. It is so exquisite. It feeds on nectar. And so if there's not been a sweetness in your life, then that sweetness is returning. And what I said about receiving messages from the universe, you may see things that are iridescent, like the feathers of a hummingbird. I know we don't have them in this country, but I've seen them in America, and they are just extraordinary. Some of them so tiny, they really are minuscule little creatures, and they just flash of iridescent colours. So you may see something iridescent, and you will know that that's the energy of the hummingbird visiting you. And here we have a little mini card of the hummingbird, and it says, embrace what makes you happy, be joyful, count your blessings, open yourself to pleasure. So if you're around miserable people, you can't be happy. So embrace what makes you happy. And embrace is to open your arms and your heart. So as you do that, your heart energy is opening up. So to embrace something is to give your whole self to it. Embrace what makes you happy. And it is not your job to make other people happy, and it's not their job to make you happy. It's your job to make you happy. So embrace what makes you happy. So it doesn't mean you need to spend a fortune on something, material stuff. Embrace what makes you happy can just be walking on the beach, or walking in the woods and listening to birdsong. Be joyful, full of joy, because joy is one of the highest vibrations that we can achieve in our lives. So even if it's looking at a picture of a hummingbird, that should open up your heart and you tap into that energy. Count your blessings. So that again is the gratitude, the attitude of gratitude, and blessing everyone and everything around you. And you might think that's an odd way to do things. So I know for myself, when I bless situations around me that appear negative, rather than gritting my teeth and going, grr, 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 oh, isn't it awful, horrible, is to actually bless it. And you're just showing an opposite energy to something that appears negative, and that sort of dispels that negativity. And then it is offered to you or presented to you in a very, very different way. So if somebody's bugging you or annoying you, they're doing that for a lesson for you, because we're all mirrors. But when you bless them for the opposite, now here's an example. One of my clients said to me, oh, what can I do about my partner? She drinks an awful lot, you know, I think she might be becoming an alcoholic. What can I do? I said, bless her sobriety. Oh, she said. I said, if you start blessing her for getting well from drinking, that's the wrong way to do it. So when you bless them for the opposite of what they're showing to you, bless her for her sobriety. Bless her for being sober. Bless her soberness or sobriety. And then you're setting up a completely different energetic communication with a situation. There's another example is a little kid was getting bullied at school and came home and told her mum, and they were very upset. And the mum said, well, start blessing them. Oh, but they're horrible to me. They're really horrible. She said, yes, I know, but this is a good way for you to be able to heal that, not only within yourself, but within them and anybody else around them. So the little kid went to school the next day and was blessing all of these other kids around her. And the bullying stopped in a very short space of time. And she came home, she told her mum, she said, oh, it worked. And so then started teaching all of her little mates around her at school about blessing supposed negative situations. And it just shifted, the whole school shifted to a much happier way of being. So counting your blessings is a very positive thing to do. And open yourself to pleasure. So again, if things have been, you've been lacking in pleasurable things in your life, then start to bless pleasurable things, even though they haven't shown up yet. So, for example, bless that beautiful food, bless that lovely meal, bless that beautiful sunset, etc., etc. And just watch how quickly things change. You have to practice it. You know, I've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. Yes, I do fall by the wayside from time to time, but when I bring myself back to it, I've actually managed to manifest 7 cars given to me. So when one conked out, immediately another one was given to me. So whether it's a car or anything else, when you focus on the gratitude, thanking the universe, because the universe is abundant, something's bound to show up. Now this is from the Ascended Masters cards, and this is crystals. So this is Epona, and she's a goddess, a Celtic goddess, and she's all about nature and crystals and such like. So what I said earlier on about the crystal children and the rainbow children, again, you may, depending how old you are who's watching this, you may be one yourself, and or you may have kids around you who are like a square peg in a round hole, but they actually may be one of these kids. And you can Google it. Some beautiful books about if your own offspring are one of the kids, how to work with them, and also to dispel any anxieties they may have of feeling different or feeling out of touch with everybody else. Also, this is about having a connection with elemental energies. And you see my painting here. This is Oberon, who's the king of the fairies. And when I started on the painting, I had no idea what was going to come through. And he came out feline. So if you know the Shakespeare's play Midsummer Night's Dream, Oberon and Titania, King and Queen of the Fairies, and they emerge about twilight time. So having this painting here as if the energies of this is connecting with you as well. So you may find that because Pisces is a sensitive, intuitive, you're a water sign, so water is to do with your intuition as well as your emotions. So you may find that when you're really looking for an answer, one of the best places to be is in nature and working with the elementals. And if you're into crystals as well, you may find that you're drawn to certain crystals. Now here's another story about crystals. I went to do a workshop in Seattle in America, and when I got to the airport, there was this big butch lady guard, had her hair scraped back, he had a gun in a holster, and she called me over, and I thought, oh Lord, what's going on? And you had to go through the machine where you do this, you know. And she called me over, and I thought, oh Lord, what's this about? And then, oh, you found my crystals. And I keep crystals in my bra. And so I took them out and I showed them to her. And one was a rose quartz heart, and the other was black tourmaline. And she took them in her hands and she looked at me, and I said, well, that one's, the rose quartz has been to Machu Picchu, which is a sacred place in Peru. And I said, the black tourmaline is for protection. Oh, she said, please don't wear crystals in your brassiere, you're freaking everybody out. And I said, we're having back, and luckily she gave them back to me, so I put them back into my bra. But that's the way that's the way that I work with crystals. And because I was travelling on a long journey, the tourmaline was protection from all of the negative energies of everybody in the airport, and you know, the fear factor, etc. And because the rose quartz had been to Machu Picchu, it was holding a very high vibrational energy. So I felt safe. I felt completely safe and happy wearing that. And yeah, I did freak them out, but I didn't buy into that fear factor, and I wasn't going to. So you may find yourself drawn to crystals, or crystals show up in your life. Find out what they are. Doesn't matter if you don't know the names of them, etc. You can just sit with them, and they come from the earth. They come from Mother Earth, and whatever colours they are will resonate with you on some level, maybe with your chakra system. You can program them too. So, for example, rose quartz is to do with the heart energies. So not just the physical heart, but also your emotions. I programmed one for my sister, and it helps her to lose weight. Amethyst, if you put a piece under your pillow, it'll help you to go to sleep. So there are all sorts of different ways and means of you using these crystals and working with them. If you're not into it, that's fine, but they might just show up anyway. So my lovelies, I hope that's been of some help to you. I've enjoyed this reading. Please leave a comment if you'd like to. If you'd like to have a personal session with me, details are in the box below. If you'd like to commission a painting, like this one here, what I usually do is ask for your 3 favourite colours, which are then mixed with sacred ash, which is called vibhuti, and sacred water, which is from the chalice well in Glastonbury. And then when it's on the canvas, I mix it with palette knives, and then something shows up. So usually faces show up, and then lots of other things. And it's bespoke and unique to you. And whatever energies are exuded from it, they will be filled with healing and light. So if you're interested in that, you can email me. Also, I do drawings of spirit guides. So if you're interested in having one of these for yourself or for a friend, and there's a message will come through from the guide for you, whatever it is they want to say. So these again are bespoke and unique to you. All I need from you is your name and your date of birth. I put the pencil to the page and then the face starts to appear. So, thanks for liking, watching, sharing, and I'll see you next time. Bye.